Well, welcome to the west coast of America and here on the east coast of Australia, and anyone that's dialed in from the west coast of Australia as well. So great to have you all. Thanks for supporting our practices. Mary Jo's going to lead us with some yoga for about 20-25 minutes. And then we'll finish with some Qigong movements that will also combine some yogic elements as well. Our goal, our real passion, is to make yoga accessible for everybody, to make it accessible throughout your life, no matter what stage of your life you're in. And really that's our passion. So we offer a variety of movements. And I remember they interviewed Moshe Feldenkrais and they asked him about chronic pain and what his thoughts were around chronic pain. And he said, look, it's not the lack of movement, it's the lack of variety of movement. And we take that seriously as well and want to give you as much variety as well. So
yeah, no, our focus is again on yoga for healthy aging. Again, trying to bring the pose to you versus you going to the pose. So for those of you that have joined us, we usually start with a centering practice, a short meditation practice. And let's begin with the sound of the bells. You're welcome to do this practice standing up, seated, eyes open, closed, or even walking.
And I'll be making some modifications. So if Mary Jo will be showing a pose one way, I'll be showing it another way. And sometimes I'll be showing that pose modified to show perhaps an easier option. Sometimes I'll show it to show a more challenging option if you want a more challenging practice. Thanks.
Let's begin with the sound of 3 bells. With your eyes open or closed, can you open your senses to the sound? Open your senses to vibrations as it unfolds in all directions. Can you open your senses to the space around you? The space in front of you or behind you, to your right side or your left side, above you, and feel the sensation as you ground yourself to the earth. Can you feel the touch of air on your face?
Where is she? It's okay, darling.
Ray of light. Or shadow.
Yeah, I'm sure it's so fine. Thank you.
Can you allow your attention to drop into the center of your heart? Rest here as you feel your heart breathing. feeling the aliveness of life living through you. Can you savor this and keep feeling this? As you open the whole body to sensations, as you scan sensations from the soles of your feet, up through your knees, up through your torso, your neck, your head, all the way to the crown of your head. Resting in this moment, just this moment. Nothing to do, nothing to change. Just resting in your awareness, moment to moment. Resting here with that sense of gratitude as we thank you all for being here today. It's always an honor to practice with you. Let's rest in silence for a moment or two before we transition to our movement practice with the sound of 3 bells. Again, thank you all for being here. It's always an honor to practice with you. Let's start with a couple of hip rotations. Bring your hands to your hips and let's rotate our hips clockwise. It's just loosening up the synovial joints. As we age, we tend to get some tightness, especially if you've just woken up. For those in Australia, let's rotate our hips counterclockwise as it's morning here. So many of us have just had our coffee or tea. Clockwise. And one more round counterclockwise. This time, as we rotate our hips, let's bring our torso into the rotation. Keeping our core engaged, our spine long. Let's reverse that rotation. Let's bend our knees slightly, feet about hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. And let's just move from side to side. Let's come back to center. As we move into a forward fold, your feet are about hip distance apart. Inhale, spread your arms out and up. Look up to the sky, palms touch. We're going to fold forward. So engage your abdominals and bend your knees. And rest in the balls of your big toe. Relax your neck. Take a couple of inhalations and exhalations. Let's sweep our arms out to the side. Come up with a flat back. Palms together, hands to your heart. Let's take our right foot and bring it back about a couple of feet apart. Your feet are hip distance apart. I welcome you to bring your outer hips towards each other for some stability. Both legs are straight. We're working on our shoulders, and we're going to work on some shoulder rotations just to loosen up the shoulders by opening up the chest and your back, your upper back. Curl your fingers and bring your thumbs up as if you're in a hitchhiking position. As you inhale, bend your left knee, and you're going to bring both arms out to the side, and your fingers are going to face right and left, so the opposite sides. And exhale, bring your hands back. Inhale, bring your shoulders out to the side. And exhale, bring it back in. We're going to progressively work our way up. As we inhale, chest forward. Exhale, hands back to your side. Inhale, chest forward. And exhale, back. This time, let's bring our arms up higher, so they will be about shoulder height. And exhale, hands back to your side. Inhale, your upper body forward, fingers curled, neck nice and long, and exhale, hands back to our side. Let's have our right foot meet the left. Sweep your arms out and wide. Let's come to another forward fold. Bend your knees, engage the abdominals, neck long and relaxed. From here, we're going to come to a cactus pose. So keep your abdominals engaged as you bring your both arms up to a cactus pose. And let's come back down. Let's do this once more. Inhale, both arms come up. Do a cactus pose. Exhale, come back down. Let's roll back up, flat back, hips neutral. Palms lift up, hands to your heart. Let's take our left leg and bring it back. Again, a couple of feet apart, hip distance apart. Let's curl our fingers. Thumbs up. Both legs are straight. As we inhale, bend your right knee, arms come out, fingers point out. Exhale, arms back to your side. Inhale. And exhale, arms back to your side. Inhale, let's come higher. Inhale, upper body is forward. Chest. Inhale, upper body forward, chest opens up. And one more move up, a little higher this time, shoulder length, or shoulder height, I'm sorry. Inhale, exhale. Let's do this once more. This time, let's rest here. Take an inhalation, and as you exhale, bring your thumbs forward. So we're rotating the shoulders the opposite direction. Inhale, let's rotate shoulders back. External rotation. Inhale, let's rotate the shoulders forward. Let's do one more round. Inhale, rotate the shoulders back, thumbs are behind you. And exhale, rotate the shoulders forward. Bring your arms back down to your side. Your left leg meets the right. And we'll move into a balanced pose. Inhale, bring both arms forward and up. As you exhale, lift your right knee, balancing on your left leg. You're welcome to use a chair. As you exhale, bring your arms back down, and your right knee comes back down. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, knee comes up. Inhale, knee comes back down. Inhale here and exhale. Arms come back down. And let's take an inhalation. Inhale. As you exhale, your knee comes up, your right knee comes up. As you inhale, arms come forward, your right knee comes back. Dynamic movements here. Inhale, knee comes forward. Exhale, your leg comes back. Well, let's try the other side. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, knees up at a 90-degree angle. Inhale. Exhale, knee comes down, up. Exhale. Bring your arms forward as you extend that left leg. Inhale. Bring your knees forward. Exhale. Bring your knees back. And arms back on your side. Now let's balance on our left leg as we wrap the right leg around the left for eagle pose or Garudasana. Let's take our right arm and bring it in front of us. Our thumb is pointed towards you. We'll take the left arm and just wrap it around the right. As you inhale, slowly bring your arms, both arms up, and exhale. As you inhale, let's come up a little higher. And exhale, arms back to your sides. Let's do the other side. Let's balance on our right leg. Let's take our left leg and just wrap it around the right. You can either wrap it completely as John is doing, or just have your left toe resting on the earth. Bring your left arm forward. Your elbows bent. Wrap the right arm around the left. Let's take an inhale and lift slightly. Exhale. Again, we're trying to open up the shoulders, the scapula. Inhale, let's lift. And this is great for posture, balance and concentration. As we exhale, arms back on our side. Now, this concludes the yoga portion.
All right. Thanks, Rachel.
Now we have
Awesome.
John doing Qigong. Thank you.
Great. Hey, thanks everyone for joining us. Big shout out to Mark and Elizabeth and Jill and Tobes, Greg, Mitty. Fabulous. Thanks for joining us. Susan, thank you. Sylvia, great to see Sylvia. Maybe Ray's there too. And Tia, thank you so much. Wonderful sister-in-laws are joining us. Vanessa and Brian. So we've got some real seasoned yogis here. Brian, of course, being the 2005 champion of Bite the Bag. And Vanessa Taylor. Hey, Phoenicia, I should say, for joining us. I'd love to talk more about your travels. I see some wonderful Facebook posts to Tibet and really settling in with the monks over there. So fabulous stories. And Kay, thanks for joining us, Kay. Fabulous student from our teachings in Brighton. So we're going to start with the stork spreading its wings. So I invite you to take a nourishing inhale through the tip of the nose. We're breathing in and out through the nose. And the simple act of breathing in and out of the nose helps regulate our heartbeat. It actually releases a trace of nitrous oxide, which also helps regulate the carbon dioxide levels in the blood, which regulate in turn the heartbeat. Inhaling as the arm rises, the other hand descends down, palm faces up to the heavens and palm faces down through the midline. The stork opens its wings. See if I can get a little better light coming over to the side here. Introducing a slight twist, an axial rotation, slight twist as we turn to one side. Think about both hands coming in play and lengthening up to the heavens, the eye of the palm and energy gateway, releasing trapped and stagnant energy down to the earth with the opposite hand. 2 more breaths as we begin to coordinate all of our movements with our breath. This really helps us become more mindful, helps us avoid injury, a simple act of coordinating our breath with our movement. Excellent. A couple of little shoulder stretch there. We just did a fair bit of work with Mary Jo, and I'm placing the hand at the C7 there where the thoracic spine meets the cervical spine. And see if you can inhale and begin to take the, I'll mirror you, the right hand to meet the elbow of the left elbow. There's a tendency for the head to want to wander forward. See if you can draw the head back into the arms as you begin to rotate the heart up to the heavens, if that's accessible for you today. Otherwise, just keeping the head neutral, facing forward at the horizon line. Otherwise, begin to direct the gaze up, over, and past the elbow. Spread the toes wide. And you're standing about hip width, shoulder width apart. See if you can begin to root down into the earth. Engage the thigh muscles so much so the kneecaps elevate and lengthen through the torso, out through the tip of the elbow. Let's see if you can find ease within effort. This beautiful length through the side body, the opening of the ribs, then releasing that back down. Moving to the other side, so the eye of the palm and energy gateway here in Qigong, the important energy gateway, the eye of the palm, comes to the C7. Inhaling as we take the left hand to meet the tip of the right elbow. And this is a fine pose here. Again, notice the head wandering forward. Can you draw the head back into the arms? As we root down, raise the toes, spread the toes wide. See if you can almost feel the air between the webbing of the toes, and then place the widespread toes back down to earth as you engage the calves, the thighs. You can take any strain out from behind the knees though. So we're engaging the thighs and we're lengthening now through the torso, through all four sides of the torso, four sides of the neck, as we begin to perhaps look up past the elbow, a line of energy coming down from the universe into the heart. Beautifully releasing that, just shrugging the shoulders a few times, rolling the shoulders back a few times, and in the opposite direction a couple of times. Wonderful. And I'll mirror you once more as we take the back of the right hand to the kidney in the back body. We're taking the opposite hand, the left hand, in front of us. Perhaps today that left arm and left hand is extending just out in front of you to the side here. Perhaps for you, you want to include a little more generous twist and take the hand back behind you. A couple of options there for how you're feeling the shoulder joint. And then draw the hand in front of you, past the face. And then in the opposite direction, the thumb faces down as you begin to rotate. And perhaps that's just to here today. If there's any deep sensations, any pain, back off immediately. I applaud you for knowing your own bodies. So perhaps the arm's just coming to here today. Or if the back feels pretty good and you want to increase that twist, the hand travels all the way back behind us. And we're looking now back past the hand. The thumb points down towards the earth. Then the hand now comes up and the palm faces up to the heavens. Slowly comes back down through the midline. Let's introduce the breath. Inhaling as the hand comes and travels back to the kidney and in front of us, or perhaps the hand is traveling all the way back. The hand then travels in front of us and the thumb faces down as we set our gaze right over the middle finger. Palm faces up to the heavens and then slowly comes back down through the midline on the exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhaling as the hand comes back behind us, arm long, deep bend in the elbow here, and then straightening, or the arm going towards straightening. The arm's not designed to straighten all the way. We're going towards straightening, a strong, straight left arm as we look back at the middle finger. Palm faces up to the heavens and then comes down through the midline. Exhaling, lengthen, deepen, and slow down the breath. Moving with grace as the back of the hand comes to the kidney, the opposite hand comes back. Sweeps in front of the face, palm faces outwards, thumb faces down. As we have a strong, straight right arm looking back at the middle finger. Again, adjust your twist so perhaps the arm's just coming to here today. Otherwise, extending a strong straight arm back behind us, setting our gaze at the middle finger, the palm then faces up to the heaven as the arm extends up to the sky, and then slowly comes back down through. Doing a few things there with a focus today on the neck and shoulders, and of course the articulation of the spine. So I'm going to show you a movement here. It's a hai-tu in karate, where we come into a chop, but we're going to do this quite slowly and smoothly with grace. So the Right hand travels down through the midline. The left hand comes to shoulder height. The arm is deeply bent at the elbow, and we begin to look out over the middle finger. The left hand keeps descending down through the midline. Slight bend in the knees here. See if you can find somewhere comfortable in your stance. Nice wide stance, a little bit wider perhaps than hip width, shoulder width apart. And the hand, then the left hand travels up to the sky and down through the midline. At about heart height, the opposite hand, the palm faces up and travels out to shoulder height. So the right hand now comes out to shoulder height as the left hand descends down through the midline. We're looking out over the middle finger, right arm deeply bent at the elbow, as though you're serving dinner on a plate. As we move with grace now, finding a wave and a rhythm in the body. Perhaps transferring the weight in the direction of the leading arm as we set our gaze over the middle finger. Exhaling as we draw the arm up to about shoulder height, bending at the elbow. The opposite hand comes down through the midline, palm down. 2 more breaths. Wonderful. Both hands come up in a clearing gesture, just releasing that last movement. Down slowly through the midline. The hands travel about an inch apart as they come down through the midline. Backs of the hands then release down, palms face back down. Wonderful. I'd like you to take an imaginary string here. So we're taking the thumb and middle finger together and we're going to draw an imaginary string right across the heart. We're going to bend deeply at the knees, inhaling the toes rise. So spread the toes wide. Chest gets bigger, heart gets bigger, exhaling a ball of energy between the lung out points, between the palms here as we create a ball of energy. The hands don't quite touch. Deep bend at the knees. Inhaling, toes rise, spread toes wide. So just the balls of the feet and the heels are on the earth. Exhaling, option to raise the heels now. It's a fine pose to keep the feet flat on the earth as well. If that's all that's accessible today, that's a great pose as well. We're looking at a beautiful chest opener, inversing all of our forward bending. It's like we have an addiction to forward bending in our culture. So we want to see if we can do as much back bends and draw the spine back into its natural position, one of extension, rather than flexing forward. When we flex forward, sometimes we shorten the muscles in the front body, pulling down on the ribs, which makes it hard to breathe. This can cause headaches, cause shortness of breath. So we always want to continue to lengthen out through the crown of the head. Coming back to the articulation, strengthening of the legs, I invite you to raise the heels as the hands make a ball of energy in front of you. Imaginary piece of string spanning across the heart as you raise the toes and spread the toes wide. Heels raise. Toes raise. 2 more breaths. Great for balance and leg strengthening as well. There's only one thing that's missing. That's the smile. So we do these practices with much joy and wellness. So excellent. As we bring the hands up, clearing the last movement here. The hands come down through the midline, about an inch or 2 apart. As the hands come down through the midline, very slowly through thick air, the backs of the hands then just release, the palms come back down. Wonderful. As we interlace the fingers behind the back of the head, I'll face this way just to get a little bit more sense of the movement. Deep bend in the knees, as best you can today. As we take the hands now and extend them up overhead, interlace fingers and extend the palms up to the heavens as you stand tall. Two strong straight legs. Lengthen through all four sides of the torso, through the sides, front and back, and extend out through the eyes of the palms, out through the crown of the head. As you then bend deeply at the knees, the hands come back to the back of the head and the elbows come towards each other. Let's introduce the breath now that we have the pattern. Inhaling as we extend, exhaling as we bend deeply at the knees, the backs of the hands come, or the hands come to the back of the head. Inhaling, growing long out through the crown of the head in all walks of life as we inverse all of our forward bending. Just bending as deeply at the knees as what feels comfortable for you today. See if we can exhale and lengthen the exhale as we come into a deeper squat. 2 more breaths. Last one. Exhaling as we come into a deep squat. Wonderful. Both hands then travel up and down through the center, about 1 inch or 2 apart. So release that last sequence. Backs of the hands, palms down. Wonderful. We come into a movement called Paint the Rainbow. We take both hands forward. Again, I'll face this way just so you get a better sense of the movement. Hopefully you guys can see, excuse the busyness of our background here. As we take the left arm all the way back behind us, and there's a slight turn here as we look back at the arm that's traveling back behind us. The hand then rotates forward, both hands come up to shoulder height, and then slowly come back down, moving to the other side. The right hand now and right arm travel back behind us, slight twist in the torso there if that feels good in the body today. The hand come back up to shoulder height and slowly back down. Opposite side as we take the left arm all the way back behind us and perhaps beginning to look at the leading hand and arm as it travels back behind us. Two more breaths. Nice full rotation of the shoulder here. Axial twist in the spine too. Both hands come up in a clearing gesture, releasing that last movement. Slowly down through the midline. As we come into hip width, shoulder width apart, deep bend at the knees. The backs of the hands come forward, deeply bending at the elbows, and then the hands come back down alongside the torso as we stand tall. Arms travel forward. Perhaps the bicep is along the ear, along the side of the ear. Exhaling as we come forward, inhaling as we come forward, exhaling as we take the hands back down alongside the torso. Option to stay here with the feet on the earth. That's, again, a fine pose. Otherwise, if you want to challenge yourself, inhaling as we raise the heels off the earth, exhaling as we draw the eyes of the palm back down, the toes rise, spread toes wide, extend out through the crown of the head. Inhaling as we raise the heels, the arms drift forward. So we fly through the mist of a mountain. Imagine, if you want to challenge yourself even further as the heels rise, perhaps even closing the eyes. Well, that's different. As we take the arms up now alongside the ears, I invite you to look underneath the raised right arm. Standing tall, toes rise. Looking in the opposite direction now, underneath the raised left arm, heels rise. 2 more breaths. Heels rise as the arms drift forward as we look underneath the raised right arm. Backs of the hands come forward. Heels rise as we look underneath the raised left arm. Well done. Both arms come up in a clearing gesture. As we come to a balanced pose. Inhaling, both arms sweep up. As the arms sweep up, the left leg raises. And perhaps it's just to the calf today. Perhaps it's up a little bit high. We don't want to press into the knee joint, but it can be lightly supported on the knee joint. We're moving dynamically. Nice wide stance as we come back down. Moving one-legged crane. Find a point of focus at the horizon, inhaling as we raise the arms and leg. Exhaling as the hands slowly come back down through the midline, about 1 inch or 2 apart. There's no hurry. The slower that we do these exercises, the more we connect with the body and the breath. So it's like moving for Kasana. If we were going to come into a yoga pose, into stillness, we'd be coming into tree pose. And here we're moving dynamically. Last one. Inhaling up, slowly exhaling down. Fabulous. As we come into a movement to articulate the full spine, 24 vertebrae in the spine, pressing the hands just above the legs. Draw the head no lower than head height, deeply tucking the chin into the chest, and then slowly unfurling all 7 vertebrae of the cervical spine, standing tall. Inhaling and then tucking the chin very slowly into the chest and holding for a moment of Bandha as we slowly unfurl the neck. Inhaling. And there's an exhale as we bend from the hip creases rather than from the mid-back. Chin into chest. So it's a wonderful way in which we can articulate the cervical thoracic spine, and then see if you can find a wave in the entire body. So we send nutrients into all 24 discs of the spine. Now that we have the motion of chin coming energetically into chest as you stand tall, inhaling as the chin points up to the heavens, and then bending from the hip creases. Slight bend in the knees as you find a wave. Hands stay fairly still as you isolate the movement to the back and torso. Last one. Both hands come up in a clearing gesture. As the hands come to about heart height, the palms face forward and then come out to the side. Draw the shoulder blades back and down. Arms come up once more to the heavens, slowly back down through midline. Palms face up. Inhaling a nourishing breath through the tip of the nose. Chest gets bigger, heart gets bigger. Exhaling slowly back down through the 2 more breaths. There's no hurry. Make an offering the temple. What has the earth got to give us? What have we got to receive? And what have we got to offer? And we'll end today's practice as the hands come slowly back down through the midline with a meditation, a moving meditation, introducing sound. So I invite you to, as we inhale, the arms come up. We're going to make the sound of Om as the hands travel back towards the top of the head, and continuing the sound Ah as it travels in front of the face. And then as it reaches the heart, we make the sound of Hung. So I'll demonstrate the movement as we inhale. Om, Om. Om, Om. Together now. Om, Om. Last one. Hands come back down alongside the torso for a moment. Closing the eyes. Just let the vibrations wash over you. The hands come to the heart. And then up to the Ming Tong as we seal in all the sensations of the practice. We look up and perhaps seal in our intention for the day as we go about our daily activities and life on the planet. The hands come back to the heart as we thank ourselves for taking this journey to nourish the mind and body and all those that support our practice. Thanks very much. Namaste, everybody. Thanks again for joining us today. Really appreciate the support.
Thanks,
Great to see everyone.
Yeah, have a
Really
great
fabulous.
evening.